One great big step we all need to take to be our most confident selves is to get used to the thought of being embarrassing. A viral video came on my For You page the other day of a woman in the gym walking on a treadmill with both of her hands on her head like this. And she said this is a great technique to be able to get your waist snatched. And everyone in the comment section of that video said, I wish I could do this, but it's too embarrassing. This is a great technique, but people are gonna think I'm weird. Nah, people are gonna stare at me. I wish I could do this, but I'd feel so embarrassed. It's like, guys, embarrassment isn't even real. It's a social construct, meaning you get to decide whether something is embarrassing or not, and you get to choose when you feel embarrassed. So if you have ever felt this way, like people are staring at me, oh my God, those people are laughing at me, people think I'm cringy, people are judging me for wearing this, I can't do that because it's so out there, it's embarrassing. That means you think you're embarrassing. You're literally judging yourself. You have this slight dislike of yourself, which is why you're projecting this opinion and generalizing it to everyone around you, thinking that they must be assuming the same thing about you. And it's simply not true. And even if it was, it doesn't matter, because if you validate yourself and if you have strong self-confidence, then nobody can shake that. So the best way to get out of this mindset is to start exposing yourself to being cringy and embarrassing all the time. I have spent years of my life doing this, and now I'm numb to the feeling of embarrassment. I literally used to go on the street and take pictures of myself, and cars would honk at me and yell at me and even laugh at me sometimes. And I simply don't care because I've exposed myself to it enough times. Now I have that strong, solid foundation of confidence that nobody can shake. I highly recommend, please go out and live your life and do whatever you want to do whilst letting go of the opinions of everyone else.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to become more confident. This video idea was suggested recently, so if anybody else has any ideas, anything that they would like to see, please leave it in the comment section below, and I will definitely try my best to create whatever you guys want to see. And as usual, I will leave my commentary for the end of the video, so stick around for that, and let's just get into it.
I started hanging out with very confident and secure girls, and this is what I learned. Secure women are made with steel. They are literally bulletproof. They're generous with their energy, but they are stingy with their time. They can process anything you're saying and they see it as a reflection of how you see yourself and not actually them. They're not boy crazy. In fact, a lot of the girls that I find that are very secure are women that honestly put men at the bottom of the pedestal. They're not obsessed with men's approval. They're not obsessed with the way they look, their weight, their face, their hair, and anything like that. They don't care about which angle looks good or bad. They are not afraid of taking ugly photos. They follow through with their word. They are consistent. They have this mentality of being forgiving all the time because they don't let anything affect them. I was growing up, I was told that a good girl or a successful girl is only one who is constantly studying and never having fun. I know, crazy, right? Like, these are brown women. These are Desi women who grew up having fun, going to parties, going to clubs, but still they are on their money. They are the perfect balance of fun and discipline. They know when it's time to have fun. They know when it's time to get real into business. They got their careers on lock. They got their investment on lock. They got their business on lock. They come to me with a full cup. They never come to me empty. They're not competing with you. They're always bettering themselves and they're enjoying the life that they built. So they have no reason to ever be in competition with another woman. In fact, they look to deliberately uplift you, will motivate you, will challenge you for growth, not to make you feel insecure, which is very different from women who come from a very insecure and victim mindset. I'll talk about that and the dangers of being around with those kind of women in a different video, but I really want to hone in on how impressive it has been for my own growing to be around women who are so comfortable and secure. It's like they have this white light around them that no matter what you do, they shine the brightest in every room. They will not be the loudest person in the room because insecurity is loud, confidence whispers. They are confident effortlessly. They don't have to pretend to be confident and say things like, I'm a high value woman, or I am super confident, I do this, I do. No, their action speaks it. In fact, they have this level of calm that is almost like threatening to an insecure person because it's like they know something that you don't. And the only thing that they know is that they can control themselves in every situation. In fact, they don't like self-depreciating humor. So when I tell them like, oh, I want a house in Malibu, my friend would be like, yeah, so which area? They have more belief in my dreams and my abilities than I do. And that gets me thinking like, oh my God, what does she know about me that I don't? And what's so amazing is when you find one, even just one confident woman, you become a magnet for other confident women. Because the thing about confident women is that they know they're a rarity. They know that this world is plagued by insecure women with the victim mindset. So they are constantly on their radar looking for other like-minded women. So when they see that your energy is not competitive, but it's actually very peaceful and you're restful, and you do not need to yell to get attention from everyone around the corner and all the men in the room, they naturally flock to you.
Things I would never do after learning the neuroscience behind self-love. Number one, I will never talk poorly about myself, neither out loud or in my head, even if it's just for a second. How you speak to yourself forms your identity, and your identity creates your external reality, and the brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not, so it doesn't know that you don't mean what you say. Number two, I will never allow someone into my life who doesn't treat me the way that I deserve or desire simply because I like the person. When you accept this type of behavior from the people around you, you are accepting that how they treat you is truth to your self-worth. Even if right now you are someone that knows your worth and you think that because you know your worth, this won't happen, if you accept that behavior from others over time, this will start to shift your neural pathways from being someone who has high self-worth to someone who has low self-worth. Because you're exposing yourself to consistent behavior that speaks to low self-worth. Number three, I will never look for validation in the opinions of others, even those closest to me. At the end of the day, you only have yourself. People you love, whether it's friendships, relationships, family members, can come and go at any point in time, but the only person that you will forever be in the presence of is yourself. What do I want out of life? What do I want to wear? Where do I want to live? What career do I want to partake in? What dish do I want to order for dinner? Because when all is said and done, the only peace and freedom that I feel from within is the peace and freedom that I created for myself by living my life the way I desired. And number four, I will never place my value on the way that my body looks. Whether you want to believe it or not, beauty is energy, it is not physicality. When someone shows up in the emotional state of confidence and security, which are subconscious beliefs, they radiate more beauty and more attraction than the picture-perfect model sitting next to them who is miserable, insecure, and full of themselves.
The worst thing about being secure in who you are as a person is that you can tell who's insecure around you, whether it's friendships, whether it's relationships. You quite literally radiate what you internalize. I'm a big believer that insecurity is loud and confidence is silent. I feel like a lot of people can relate in the fact that confidence is very attractive. You attract like-minded people when you start acting like yourself, not how you think people want you to act. You also attract opportunity when you're confident in yourself. Growing up, especially in college, you'll realize that there's a lot of people that don't actually like who you are. They just like what you could potentially provide for them. Be very mindful in who you choose to keep around you, because people are leeches and just want to feed off of your energy, and it will drain you. When you're secure in who you are, you will stop viewing relationships and friendships as a source of your validation. No one gives a literal shit about what you do with your life and how you want to live your life. If you just have confidence in the way you do things, that's admirable. That is something that cannot be bought. If you want to know someone deep down, get to know their morals, get to know their values, and get to know if they're confident in those.
No, because one thing about me, I'm always going to get the damn thing done. I just came back from hosting my first ever event. I organised it all by myself, and I've never taken responsibility for something like this before, and it was a lot of pressure, and as a homebody and an introvert and a formerly socially awkward girl, gathering all of these people together, being responsible for their experience, trying to make them have a good time, while also like making the event and the amount it cost worthwhile, scary. Yeah, but I only did it because I put it on my vision board for this year, and guess what? Now I've achieved it. And now guess what? The rest of my year is now 10 times easier because I simply decided to do the thing and feel the fear anyway. And now I know I can do it 10 times over throughout 2025, and it's no big deal. No, every single time I do something for the first time, I always leave it knowing that I'm going to feel happy and confident in my ability to do it again because I overcame that fear by doing it regardless. And this is something I like to call portfolio of proof. I talk about it in all of my confidence videos on my YouTube. It essentially means that you need to have a bank of memories in your head of every single time you thought you couldn't do something because you were nervous or scared or anxious, but you did it anyway. And what that means is every single time you do something bigger that's scary, you can think, But hold up, I've done this so many times before and I always do it and I always leave feeling happy and successful. Therefore, the same thing is going to happen again. And if you don't have any memories like that, I need you to step out of the house and start doing things that are different, even if they are on a super small scale, like talking to somebody new, making small talk with your barista, walking a different way home. You got this. I love you. Have an amazing 2025.
This is a step-by-step guide on how you're going to be the most confident person in every single room you walk into. You're going to implement these tips in your everyday life, and trust me, your self-concept, your subconscious, everything is going to be reprogrammed to see yourself as your future self. Glowing up means nothing if you don't actually walk the walk, because trust me, if you don't think that you're the coolest, hottest, smartest, sexiest, whatever, best person in the world, nobody else will. The most important thing is how you present yourself. For example, how you walk into a room. Number 1, eye contact. When you're talking to someone, eye contact is the number 1 sign that you're actually paying attention, you're engaged in the conversation. So, based on neuroscience, when you make eye contact with someone, it establishes a sense of relationship. That person feels more at ease. We've all been in those situations where we're talking to someone and you know they don't care what you're saying. Like, they're just waiting to get out of that conversation. Nobody wants that. Nobody likes that. So listen, people have a lot to say and people are super, super interesting. I genuinely love hearing about other people's experiences, what they've done, whatever. It's so interesting and it's boring to talk about yourself all the time. Nobody likes someone that just nonstop talks about themselves. Make sure your body language is mirroring theirs. So if they're in front of you, you're talking to them like this, you're looking at them, you're engaged, you're nodding. Those little things go such a long way. Also, a lot of these tips are based on the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's an amazing book if you're into marketing, creating your own brand, etc. Tip number 2 is going to be asking people questions about themselves. Like I said, people love to talk about themselves and you don't have anything to prove. You're already confident. So go into the conversation actually genuinely interested in what the other person has to say. You'd be shocked at the amount of people that just don't really care about what the other person has to say. They just want to prove to you that they have the coolest job or the coolest clothes or whatever. And that's great. I'm so happy for you. But, that's not what the conversation is about. Like, obviously don't talk about their childhood trauma or like why they broke up with their boyfriend, but ask things that they seem like they're super interested about. People remember the way that you make them feel. That's something I learned so much. People don't remember the conversations or whatever, but when they think of you, you want them to think of, oh my God, this person was so interested in my life. She made me feel so comforted. She made me feel whatever. That is such an important impression to leave on someone, and it really, really makes you feel so good about yourself. Make sure you're remembered in a conversation for the right reasons. People don't want to talk about things that are going to bring them down. It's not nice energy to have, and if you're making a first impression, why are you complaining? So be very cautious of words like I hate, I don't like, don't talk badly about other people. Be very conscious of your language and the use of filler words. This gives off the impression that you're just speaking to speak. You don't have to speak. Or let's say you're not educated on a topic. This is my favorite thing to do. Let's say there's something that I don't really know a lot about. It's not many things. But let's say it's a topic that I'm not well educated on. I'm going to say, honestly, I don't know that much about that topic, but can you tell me what you think? The amount of respect I have for people when they hold back on speaking just to speak. I respect someone so much when they just say they don't know a lot about something and they're not just going to give you a bullshit answer just to seem more smart or educated. Tip number 4, and this one is very important to me, only go out until you feel 100% comfortable in what you're wearing. Okay, I took my glasses off because I feel like the glare was kind of annoying. As I was saying, the amount of times that I would go out and not feel super comfortable and I'd be like asking my friends like, are you sure I look good? Does this make me look like this? Whatever. It's never worth it. Just change. We all know that feeling when we're talking to someone and the only thing that you can think about is how you look, how they think you look, and trust me, they're not thinking of you. But because you don't feel confident, you can't show up and be your authentic self in the conversation. So if it takes an extra 20 minutes, an extra 30 minutes, it's worth it to show up late, but show up confident and show up as yourself than to show up on time or early or whatever, but just want to leave 20 minutes later. A confident person knows that regardless of what they look like, they're comfortable, they're happy, they're going to engage in the conversation, and they're not thinking of what the other person is thinking, because every single person is thinking of themselves. Remove all that internal dialogue because, not to be harsh, but no one is thinking that much about you. You're not that important. And that saved my anxiety. Thinking that way changed my life, I swear to God. Just think, no one is thinking of you. No one is going home and going to bed and thinking, oh my God, she was so weird. So the next time that you're feeling anxious or you're overthinking a certain situation, tell yourself, I am not that important. No one is. And my last tip, and the most important tip in my opinion,
is to act as if you are already that girl. I'm gonna be the best version of myself when I'm skinnier, when I'm prettier, when my hair is dyed, whatever. There is never going to be a time that you're gonna feel 100%. Trust me, you're gonna get to your goal weight, you're gonna be like, ugh, I wanna lose like 2-3 more kilos. You're gonna get rid of your acne, pimples, whatever. There's gonna be another problem. Something always arises. If you're not comfortable with how you are now, trust me. Trust me. If you don't take anything from this video, take this. You will never get to that point. It will feel good momentarily. Let's say you have a certain weight. When you reach there, it will feel good, but it won't feel good for the reason of, oh, I'm happy with myself now. It'll just feel good because you reached a goal. 2 hours later, you're gonna ruminate about something else. So start now. Love yourself now. Look at yourself and be so proud of everything. There is a version of you in the past that dreamed of where you are now. And that is my favorite quote. There is a version of you that when you were younger, dreamed of all the things you accomplished now, the way you look now, whatever the case may be. So be proud of yourself now, because if you aren't, trust me, when you get there, you never will be. So that got very deep, but it is so true, and it's something I'm super passionate about. So I also want to start a new series where it's like just about confidence. I didn't always think like this. I was definitely not confident for a super, super long amount of time, and I don't want anybody to waste that amount of time like I did. So those are my tips on confidence. I will definitely be doing more videos like this.
Do you want to know the secret to becoming the most confident version of yourself? Then listen up, right? Number one, you've got no other option. Like, genuinely, you either choose a life of victimization or you choose to put in the work and the effort to actually becoming who you want to become. Because the only life you're affecting is your own. Your life is in your hands. No one's going to wave a magic wand and give you confidence or give you beauty or give you great thoughts. It's only you that has the power to do that. So you choose. You either waste this time doing absolutely nothing or you put in the effort to get yourself to where you want to be. Act as if you already are what you desire. I know they say this all the fucking time and it's hard to grasp, right? But what is stopping you from being confident now? What is stopping you from feeling like you've got money or feeling like you've got freedom? Nothing other than you. You don't have to wait for objects, people, things for you to feel loved, appreciated, or valued. It comes from within. You have to be delusional. What is stopping you from walking, talking, acting, dressing like the person you want to become? If you are waiting for something to feel something, then you're stuck in an anticipation phase, which means you're never going to get what you truly want because you're always in a lack. Your thoughts manifest into reality. How you think, how you feel, and how you act is what creates your 3D. Check yourself. You are your biggest hater, I promise you. If you just pay attention to the thoughts that you're having, you'll realize you speak to yourself with absolute disrespect when you should be your biggest supporter. No one else is going to love you more than you should love yourself. You got to do mirror work and affirmations, right? Your brain is a big supercomputer. You are running off a load of false beliefs that you've been told from childhood or from experiences, and you accept them as true. That's why you think you're incapable. Affirmations are going to be so fucking hard to believe at first, but through repetition, it becomes easier because it takes 21 days of speaking affirmations out loud to yourself for you to rewrite your DNA. Positive affirmations activate the reward center in the brain, which release dopamine. If you are saying these affirmations in the mirror, you associate the dopamine with the person you see in front of you. So then you start to believe the affirmations about yourself and you start to feel good, which then boosts your confidence. Take motherfucking care of yourself. How can you expect to be confident when you look like absolute shit? You don't do your skincare, you don't wash your face twice a day, you don't brush your motherfucking teeth. When you look good, you feel good. That's why you have to dress to impress every single day. I do not give a fuck. That's one thing you cannot compromise on. Because if you dress good, you then feel good. Work on your skincare, work on your hair care. Do your makeup if you can. Work on your diet. Work on your health. Do face massages. I promise you, face massages will change your life. Your face will look so sculpted and so lifted to the point where you don't even need to wear makeup half the time. Why don't you start treating yourself as well as you expect other people to treat you? And then the way you treat yourself will reflect outwardly and people will start to respect you more and treat you better than you could have ever imagined. Do not compare yourself to anyone else. There are beautiful people in this world, billions of them, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can never be someone else, but someone else's beauty will never take away from your own. You are unique, you are special, and you have to live in that. No one will laugh the way you do. No one will act the way you do. No one will have the same personality as you do. No one will ever be able to bring what you can bring to this world. So have faith in yourself and love yourself enough to know that you are unique, you are special, and you just have to work with what you've got. Abide by that, and you can change your life in 30 days. I promise you.
Here's some tips for you to appear more confident, and let's be real, looking the part is half the battle, so pay close attention. Posture, okay? I can't emphasize this enough. You think you're gonna look confident, hunch over like Hunchback of Notre Dame? No. You need to roll your shoulders back, chest up, pretend I'm string is literally lifting you up, okay? Posture. You'd think this wouldn't matter, but your arm placement. If your arms are crossed, if your arms are covering your body, you're gonna appear insecure. If you want to appear open and confident, you gotta leave your arms to the side where everything is out. Eye contact, bitch. Eye fucking contact. Okay, look at that. Looking right into your fucking soul. Okay, that's confidence, bitch. If you're insecure, you're gonna be like, you can't be scared of eyes, baby. You can't be scared of eyes. Talk with expression in your voice, okay? Just listen to the difference, okay? So I went to the mall the other day and I saw my friends. Versus, so I went to the mall the other day and I saw my friends. What the sounds more confident?
Hello again. So I'm back with my commentary and my thoughts on this topic. I feel like the last two TikToks were a bit more aggressive when they were describing how to be confident. But I'm not against it. I actually quite like the energy. I thought it was quite feisty. To me, Tam Kaur, I think that's how you pronounce it, she's like the queen of confidence. I really like her content, and I actually did buy her book a few months ago, and although admittedly I'm not a big reader, so I haven't finished the book, but what I've read in the first couple of chapters I actually really enjoyed, and it gave me a whole new perspective on how to be confident, how to look after yourself and start that journey of self-love. So I trust her. I definitely trust her when she talks about confidence and how to build self-love, because from what I've seen so far, I think she gives really good advice. And I think the TikToks that she made, the first one when she was talking about just putting yourself in situations that makes you feel uncomfortable, that is so true. It is so important. You won't develop confidence if you stay in your comfort zone. And really, like, there are so many situations in life where you're going to be uncomfortable, but if you can just like ride it out and like let your body know, like allow your nervous system to get used to it and to just do the things anyway, like feel the fear and do it anyway, then you will start to become more confident. The definition of confidence is literally knowing that you can do something. And if you're starting something new, then it's only natural that you're not going to be that confident because you don't know what you're doing. But, you know, you need to practice. And again, you need to go outside of your comfort zone. You need to put yourself in uncomfortable situations and allow your body to get used to it so that you become more confident, because you're like, oh yeah, I've done this before, it's fine. Like, yeah, I might feel uncomfortable, I might feel embarrassed, but so what? Like, it doesn't hurt. Like, you're not in any kind of danger. Nothing's gonna happen. You're just gonna do it. You're gonna try something new, and either you're not gonna like it or it's not gonna work, and then you can go and try something else. But either way, you'll learn from it. And I think as long as you have like a teachable spirit, as long as you allow yourself to be humble and to acknowledge that, you know, you're not perfect, you're not going to be super good at something that you're just starting, and allow yourself to make mistakes, not judge yourself, and then to like learn from those mistakes and come back and try again, then you will build confidence in no time. I also like what the second creator, I think was her name Shazmir. I'm so like scared of saying somebody's name wrong, just because like I used to have a surname that people found quite difficult to pronounce, and it used to really annoy me when people got it wrong. So I just don't want to say it wrong. But the second creator, when she was talking about the secure women that she knows, and when she was talking about self-discipline, I think that this is a really like underestimated aspect of confidence. I think that when you have control over yourself, like when you can rely on yourself and you know that you'll be okay and you know how you're going to handle a situation, that again is such a quick way to start building confidence and self-esteem. Like, self-esteem is like the reputation that you have with yourself. So again, like, you try something new and you'll know that you can handle it because you know that you are in control of yourself and your own reactions. And I think that like when people say that confidence is from within, they're not kidding. Like, I think that starting to become more self-disciplined again is one of the most important ways of developing confidence, rather than just like, I'm not gonna lie, I think a lot of people online especially can be kind of fake with the confidence advice that they give, and they say, oh, just fake it till you make it, and just pretend that you are the most successful, beautiful, smartest person in the world. Personally, I don't think that works. Again, I think real confidence comes from knowing that you can do something, knowing that you are in control of yourself, knowing how you're going to handle a situation. Honestly, if I could give like one piece of advice for becoming more confident, I would say learn how to deal with your anxiety, because I think that anxiety is actually like the driving emotion behind the more negative emotions that we experience. So like fear, obviously, but also anger, sadness, like the anxiety underneath that is what really pushes people away from growing and learning, because they're just so scared of what's going to happen that they don't even try. And people, they give up before they even try anything because they can't handle the anxiety. They can't handle that idea, that feeling of like, oh no, something bad's going to happen. So yes, self-discipline. Also, what the third girl mentioned about not talking down to yourself, not criticizing yourself, learning to be more compassionate towards yourself and to speak kindly to yourself in your mind. Like, again, that is really important. It's a really important habit to break if you grew up in like an insecure family dynamic, or you have struggled to make good friends in your life. You've probably had people in your life that kind of put you down, in which case, again, like, you need to stop that habit. And then the next creator, when she was talking about how some people in your life will just drag you down, again, this goes back to it, like, you don't surround yourself with people who do put you down, because you will internalize what they've said about you and you'll start to believe it. So that's another really important thing. If you want to be a confident person, you need to, unfortunately, let some people go who are not confident in themselves and will drag you down, basically, and start becoming friends with people who are more confident. Or if you can't instantly become friends with people who are super confident, then you still need to get rid of these bad friends, honestly. I know it sounds like easier said than done, but this is something that I've done, and personally, I would rather have no friends than have bad friends. And also with family as well, I would rather have no family than toxic family, but this is just me. And I actually have a video already about toxic friends, and I think that these behaviours also apply to family. So I'm going to leave a link to that video because I think it's really important to learn the kind of behaviours that people do when they're not really your friends, they're not really your family, they don't really care about you or have your best interests at heart. So I'm going to leave a link to that. Again, another way to be confident, knowing how to handle yourself with these kind of situations, knowing what you're going to do about it, super important. And the next most important tip for confidence, I think, is looking good. I think looking after yourself physically, knowing how to style yourself, knowing how to take care of your hair, do your makeup, all of these things. If you look good, then you will feel good. I really believe in that. I think it's normal for people to feel insecure when they don't look as good. And some people might say that this is complete BS and that you should love yourself no matter what you look like, no matter your weight, no matter what you wear. Like, you should just love yourself 100% all the time. Again, this is something that I don't think works. I don't think that this is real. So to me, I think it's really important to learn how to style yourself, learn how to look after yourself physically. And again, you will start to build confidence. You'll look better and then you'll start to feel better. But yeah, this is all I have to say on this topic for now. So if you've made it this far into the video, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I do plan on making more content like this in the future. And if you have any suggestions for future video ideas, then please leave them down below. I read all of the comments, even the negative ones. And yeah, that's everything. So I will see you in the next one. Bye!